Which honestly, I'll apologize. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful to you with the pronoun thing. I
No,
don't really know
no,
how that
don't worry
works.
about it. Don't worry
And I'm
about
sorry
it.
I said he and guy. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful or a dick
No, not
or
at
try
all.
to be
Don't worry
smart.
about it.
I just, I have friends. Um, well, I don't talk to them that much anymore, but I do have lesbian and gay friends. But I don't know how other things work, and I'm not trying to be rude at all. I don't really know how all that works. So I
That's
wasn't
perfectly
trying to be
fine.
like a dick or anything.
It's I'm honestly used to it because a lot of people default to he him pronouns because of my voice,
Yeah.
even though I'm not. But I personally prefer just using they them pronouns because I don't really identify male or female per se.
So
So,
then what am I supposed to say?
well, I'm using anything neutral. Like, it, most people define dude and guy as like specifically male, but I don't see them as specifically male. Like I'll even call like some of my best friends or like some of my friends who are girls, I just call them dude or hey guy. It's like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like is being called specifically male. Anything other like
So
anything neutral or
male
feminine, I'm
or he?
fine.
So you're talking about he or saying
E.
male?
Well, like
He?
he, him
Both?
pronouns and just
See, that's what I'm
calling.
saying. I don't know how that works. So like, if I have like, it's hard because I don't have that many other people that are like that. So I don't know what to say.
Well, you would have
And then it's
the
like if I'm
same.
streaming with chat, then it'll slip my mind multiple times. So I
That's
don't want you to
fine.
think that
That's
I'm being
perfectly
rude.
fine.
That's
If anything, I am forgiving about people learning this stuff. Because, well, yeah, it's not common. You, there's worse. Trust me, there's worse. There's people that are using
yeah. I
things
mean,
that are called
there
neopronouns, and that is something to wrap your head around.
there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, I don't know really too much about it, but I watch TV shows and I hear like multiple things. Like I was watching Sex Education. That has a lot of stuff like that in it. It's on Netflix. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's a good show.
Yeah.
Um,
But like,
but
it's they them pronouns basically work in the sense of you're talking to something plural. Like you'd use they as when you're talking about a group of people, right?
yeah,
Yeah, and you basically use the pronouns the same way, just for an individual instead of a group.
so you would say
They're
they.
simply just neutral pronouns. So instead of he, you'd be saying they. Or be saying him, you'd be saying them.
Gotcha.
There's a list I can send you that also has neopronouns on it. They look horrifying.
Yeah, I will probably never remember that. I'm just gonna be honest.
Oh, trust me, neither do I. I have some friends who use neopronouns, and even with them, I sometimes still have to look back at that sheet because I'm like, is this the way you use this?
Yeah.
Because neopronouns are a whole different beast entirely. Because I have a friend who uses V and A pronouns, and it's literally just written VE and AE, and they have a whole different thing about just going about it. So instead of he or she, you'd be saying V or ver.
Gotcha.
It's it's a nightmare. But if that's what makes people
So,
comfortable, that's just that.
so my question is, I understand you or they use certain things, but say if how do I explain this? Does it necessarily mean that other people have to use them, or if it's a form of disrespect, or is it something you would like that?
It's technically the same way as if you wouldn't want me to refer to you as she, right?
Yeah, but just hear me out real quick. I'm not trying to argue, but
No,
if
no.
it's someone that's not around it a lot and is not familiar, like it would be hard for someone because they are like
I'm not
one
gonna
of the
witch
only
hunt.
people that I play with that are like that's they. I guess, is that right? I don't even know how to say this. So I don't use that terminology a lot, so I don't know how to do it. So normally, you know what I mean, I play with other people that are the same as me, a he or a she.
Yeah.
Not that we're any different. I'm just trying to say this in terminologies that I know.
Make it easier to
So
wrap
then
your
it's
head
hard
around,
for me
yeah.
with my vocabulary. Not that I'm not
No,
wanting
it's
to
like
do it. Just
it's
it's hard to
don't
be familiar with it to
don't get me
remember. You
wrong.
see what I'm saying?
I get what
Because
you
I'm not
mean.
around it all the time. You see what I'm saying?
It's I am not going to hold it against anybody if they simply forget or they are not used to it or
That's what I was
it's
asking, pretty much.
I am not
In a
holding that
sense.
against anybody. If somebody
Okay.
is going to sit there and be like, "Oh, that is not a thing," I am laughing in your face about it.
Then it's
You are
different.
I
Gotcha.
invalidate you. Then I
Gotcha.
am going to be pissy at them.
There you go. Okay. That's what I was trying to understand.
But yeah, no, I'm not going to.
Because it's not like I
I'm not
wouldn't
going to get
use
at.
it the way
Like, I'm not
that.
going to
It's that
get
I
at
won't
somebody
remember all the
about that.
time, or I
Yeah.
won't be familiar with it because it's not like I know. You know what I mean? Like it's not like we play together a lot, or you know what I mean? I know. Does that
I
make
get what you
sense?
mean.
You get what
I
I
get
mean?
what you mean. Yeah, it's just something to get used to.
Yeah,
And
exactly. That's what I'm
and
saying.
by all means, the if people do need time to get used to this kind of stuff. Like it's the same as when I was introduced to neopronouns. It's not like it just clicks and because I'm using different pronouns, I know how to use these automatically. That is just
Yeah.
not how it works. But no, by all means, people do need time to adjust to this kind of stuff. It's not something, especially if you're not like me, for example, and you're not somebody who has people all around them that are LGBTQ plus,
Yeah.
then
It's
you're not used to this stuff.
It's not even that. It's more or less, I would say he or she. Don't take that against me, because I would just be using that. But it's in a sense as if it's just me and you in a duo, I would say what I just said. I wouldn't think to say they because there's not three people. You see what I'm saying? There's not
Yeah.
multiple people I'm playing with. That's the sense that I'm saying. Not that I would never remember to say. It would just get used. I would have to
It's
get used to saying they.
the way of
You know
better
what I mean? 'Cause
viewing.
I'm used to saying the other thing.
Yeah, it's the way of viewing it. The
So it
I
feels
guess
weird, like when I'm
easiest
with
way.
one other person saying that. Not that it's weird. It's a weird. I don't even know how to explain this right. Without trying to be a dick.
I know what you
Like I
mean.
wouldn't. Yeah,
You're
like it's hard
fine.
for me to say they when there's only one person I'm talking to. It's just not. It's
The
not
best
something
way
that I normally do.
the best way I can put this to you is think you need to leave the
Think of
thought
it as a
behind.
group.
You need you need to leave the thought behind that there's only two genders. You need to leave the thought behind that there's only male and female. That is the best way I can tell this to you, because there's more than that. It's the way
Well, I wasn't saying it like that. I'm saying just using they.
the way to
versus
view.
just single versus plural is what I was saying pretty much. Not.
Okay,
I understand what
then
you're saying. Yes, for sure.
then the way something that I have adapted to anyway to do is I use they as a neutral pronoun. If I don't know somebody's gender, I will refer to them as they, them. I even just did it subconsciously. Because I said I'll refer to them as they, them.
So what?
So I use
So
he, him.
instead of me
He,
saying
him would
he
be
wants to play Tarkov,
a male.
I say they them wants to play Tarkov, or just
Yeah.
they.
Just they. They. I say they,
Okay.
them because it's the way it's usually
Both?
put.
And or
It's the way it's
Or
usually
just
put.
together?
It's always it's the base and one further. So I'd be saying he, him, she, her, they, them. It's just
Gotcha.
I always group it together so people know what I'm talking about.
I see what you're saying now.
Yeah, but like the best way I can put this is you have he, him, you have as male pronouns, so something you'd use. Then she, her, you have as female pronouns, something I'm assuming your wife uses.
Exactly.
And then you have they, them as neutral pronouns, which are neither male nor female. Or something, just, it's... Neutral pronouns are just a good way of, for one, avoiding... If you have somebody in chat and you don't know their gender and you call them just like being like, oh, he said, and then it turns out it's a woman speaking in chat, you'd be like, oh, I'm sorry. But then if you're saying they, them, you can avoid that because you're using a neutral pronoun. That kind of thing. And then also for somebody like me who is non-binary, like, I don't consider myself male or female. I just don't really feel like either. I like both sides. I hate both sides.
Gotcha.
And it's like, I'm neutral on my gender. So yeah, in turn, use they, them pronouns. It's a lot to wrap your head around if you're not familiar with all that. But if anything, I am more than happy to introduce people to it.